Imagine you're training a neural network to solve the traveling salesman problem. You feed it a list of 5 cities, coordinates on a 2D plane, and ask for the shortest route that visits each one once. The answer is a specific permutation of those 5 cities. Now you feed it 10 cities, or 50. Suddenly, standard deep learning breaks. Why? Because standard models rely on a fixed output vocabulary. But here, the valid outputs are literally the inputs, and the inputs keep changing. To solve this, Vinyals, Fortunato, and Jaitly proposed we stop asking models to classify and start teaching them to point. Most neural networks operate on a fixed output dictionary. A language model has a vocabulary of 50,000 tokens. The final layer is always the same size, whether the input sentence is 3 words or 300. That softmax is over 50,000 classes. It is a static lookup table. Sequence-to-sequence models from Selector et al. Inherit this exact constraint. The encoder reads the input into a fixed dimensional code vector. The decoder generates output from a fixed dictionary. But combinatorial optimization problems, like sorting, computing convex holes, or the traveling salesman problem, don't work like that. The output space depends on the input. Before the fix, let's understand the tool that makes it possible. In 2014, Badenau et al. Introduced the content-based attention mechanism. In a seek-to-seek model with attention, at each decoder step I, we compute attention scores Uij equals V transpose tan H of W1 times Ej plus W2 times Di for each encoder state Ej. These scores are softmax normalized into attention weights Aij. Then, and this is the crucial part, we compute a weighted sum. D'I equals the sum over j of Aij times Ej. This blended context vector is concatenated with the decoder state and used for prediction. The attention looks at every input, but it blends them together into a single mixed representation. It's a reader, not a selector. The pointer network changes one thing. Instead of using the attention distribution to blend encoder states, it uses the attention distribution directly as the output. The equations are nearly identical. We compute Uij equals V transpose tan H of W1 Ej plus W2 Di. Then P of Ci, given the history, equals softmax of Ui. That's it. No weighted sum, no context blending. The softmax over inputs becomes the output distribution. The model points to an input element and says, this one is next. The key consequence? The output dictionary size equals the input length n, automatically. If the input has 10 elements, the softmax is over 10. If it has 500, the softmax is over 500. A single trained model handles any input length. Let's put it all together architecturally. We have 3 models to compare. First, the vanilla sequence-to-sequence. An LSTM encoder reads the input, produces a code vector, and an LSTM decoder generates outputs from a fixed-size softmax. Computational complexity is O of n. Second, sequence-to-sequence with attention. The decoder attends to all encoder states at each step, creating a blended context. Complexity becomes O of n squared, because each of the O of n output steps looks at n inputs. Third, the pointer network. Same O of n squared complexity as attention, but the attention isn't blended, it's the output itself. The architecture is simpler because we remove the projection to a fixed dictionary entirely. The paper evaluates Ptr-Nets on 3 combinatorial geometry problems. First, planar convex hulls. Given n random points in the unit square, find the subset that forms the convex boundary. The output is a sequence of indices pointing to the hull vertices, ordered counterclockwise. Exact algorithms run in O of n log n. Second, Delaunay triangulation. Partition the convex hull into triangles, such that no point lies inside any circumscribed circle. The output is a set of index triples, 1 per triangle. Note, the ordering matters for training. Third, the planar traveling salesman problem. Find the shortest tour visiting all n cities exactly once. This is NP hard. For n up to 20, they use the Held-Karp algorithm for exact solutions. For larger n, they train on approximate solutions from the Christophidis algorithm. The convex hull results are striking. At n equals 50, the vanilla LSTM achieves just 1.9% exact accuracy. It essentially fails. LSTM with attention jumps to 38.9%. the Ptr-Net reaches 72.6% exact accuracy, with 99.9% area coverage. But the real story is generalization. They trained a single Ptr-Net on variable lengths from 5 to 50. This one model achieves 92. For the NP-hard TSP, the results are nuanced but impressive. On 5 cities, the Ptr-Net matches the optimal tour length of 2.12. On 10 cities, it's nearly optimal at 2.88 versus 2.87. For n equals 50, trained on approximate solutions from A1, the Ptr-Net achieves tour length 6.42, remarkably close to A1's own 6.46. When trained on the better A3 algorithm, it reaches 6.09. An interesting finding, the Ptr-Net can sometimes outperform the algorithm it was trained on. For generalization, a model trained on 5 to 20 cities works perfectly on 25 cities, degrades gracefully to 4.72 at n equals 30, but breaks down for n equals 40 and beyond. The underlying O of n squared complexity limits its reach on this harder problem. For Delaunay, at n equals 5, the model achieves 80.7% accuracy and 93% triangle coverage. At n equals 50, while no exact triangulation is correct, 52.8% of individual triangles are predicted correctly. The generalization story is the paper's most compelling contribution. The Ptr-Net doesn't memorize a mapping from fixed inputs to fixed outputs. It learns an algorithm. Specifically, it learns to attend to the right position at the right time. This is why it generalizes to unseen lengths. But there are important limitations. The model is sensitive to input ordering. When whole points appear late in the input sequence, accuracy drops, because the encoder has fewer processing steps to update. Attention alleviates this, but doesn't fully solve it. For TSP, generalization is limited to about 1.5 times the training length before breaking down, likely because the NP-hard problem requires more than O of n squared computation to approximate well. And the beam search must be constrained to produce valid tours. Without this, more than 10% of outputs at n greater than 20 are invalid. Pointer networks changed how the field thinks about neural output spaces. By repurposing attention from a context blender into an input selector, Vinyals et al. Showed that neural networks can handle variable-length, discrete output problems. This idea directly influenced copy mechanisms and language models, where the network can point to tokens in the input to copy them into the output. It influenced extractive summarization, where models point to sentences worth keeping. And it opened the door to neural combinatorial optimization, a now thriving subfield. The core insight is deceptively simple. Sometimes the answer is already in the input. You just need to learn where to point.